Hello, my name is Dr. Marcus Scott Alexander, and I'm coming to you from Edmonton, Canada. So I want to say something about the work that I do, which I've been doing for about 40 years. And it's looking at the power of the creative act, particularly art making, in returning to what matters to us. All of the arts, painting, writing, dance, theater, sculpture, photography, storytelling, all of these art forms are a way to come back to ourselves and that's what attracted me to this work. I found that by doing this work, again and again, I had this experience of returning. And the irony was, I was studying in Massachusetts in the United States at Lesley University with one of the founders of Expressive Arts Therapy, Paulo Knil. I was studying to find a way to go out into the world in a meaningful way, doing meaningful work. And what actually happened was the work helped me to come back to myself, to my core. And then after some time, about a year or so, I noticed that I felt prepared to start to move into the world and to work with people individually and in groups, and gradually to begin educating people on how to work with the arts in a therapeutic way, to sort of heal our relationship with ourselves and each other. So at first I would listen to someone and say, it's not very practical. You should be a social worker or do something more practical. But my heart said, do this work, it'll work out. And it has. There's a difference between finding a job and creating meaningful work. I would say I haven't really looked for a job doing expressive arts therapy, but I've created work and I'm working in several countries right now, mostly through Zoom, which is a surprise for me that Zoom works so well. I would say what I enjoy about this work is the diversity, that every person I work with is different and requires a different response. So it's an opportunity for me to be not only useful in the world, but always creative. Different cultures call for different ways of working. The way I would work with a group of people in Peru is different from how I would work with a group of people in Japan. The way I would work with an individual who is from Egypt would be different from how I would work with someone from South Africa. There's such a wide range of how we can be creative. So my mentor was Paulo Knil. Again, as I said, one of the people who began this work in the 1970s, and I began studying with him in the 1980s, and he was my mentor until 2020, when he passed away at the age of 88. So my role is to take care of keeping this work relevant. How is working with the arts in a therapeutic way relevant to our world now? One of the developments that I found to be very useful is combining expressive arts therapy with ecotherapy, bringing people into nature, learning from nature about how to be more human. So bringing this work forward, combining it with ecotherapy has been a beautiful way of seeing how this relationship between art making and nature creates a more responsive human being. In a way, that's the therapy, to learn how to be more responsible to the movement within us, between us, and around us. So yeah, I celebrate this growing community of people who are interested in something that's actually quite ancient. Working with the arts is quite an ancient way of connecting to our essence. Every culture values creativity in one form or another. The focus of the arts in therapy has become a very relevant topic of study, because there is profound nourishment in the process of learning. So it's not like you take a deep breath and you study for 3 years, and then you do it, but rather it's a way of life that in the studying, you learn to be more intuitive, more playful, and more innovative with how to make that connection between work and play, to be playful in life as part of your work, so that there isn't a split between now I'm going to work and now I'm going to play. So that's the other thing that I love about this work, is my nature is to be playful, and I like to work. So putting these two things together has been quite a joy. And the reason I encourage my students to move forward in this field of the arts and therapy is because it creates this amazing community. A lot of people these days are feeling somewhat isolated, and this art-based therapy is becoming quite international, and the classes that I have now are opening up our relationship with the world, opening up our relationship with different cultures. And there are so many areas that we can work in, from working with children to working with seniors, to working, running workshops for youth at risk, teenagers who are struggling with identity, women who've raised their children and now the children are gone and they're asking, who am I now? Working also with various challenges like the blind or the deaf or the physically challenged. So many areas of innovative intervention that are possible in this work. So I continue to explore ways that I can learn how to appreciate what we have to offer each other. And the arts are a beautiful bridge for connecting to what's moving within us, connecting to what's moving between us, and connecting to nature and to this planet, and connect to what's moving around us. So yeah, I'm grateful to have found this work in the mid 1980s, and here in 2023, still finding its profound relevance, its capacity to enliven, and its potential to make a significant difference in our cultures. So yeah, I'm always looking forward to the next turn of the spiral, the next development of this work. Bye for now.